Our sport has a bright future ahead. Every day, in countries around the world, new federations spring up. However, without strong ties between them, football in different nations will lack organization. Perhaps we need a central governing body for our wonderful game. Will you do me the honor, my dear Mr. Frederick Wall, of agreeing to a meeting between your association and our group at your convenience? Yours sincerely, Karl Anton Hirschmann.
Excuse me, Lord Wall?
I'm not fortunate enough to be a lord yet, but I am indeed Frederick Wall. And to whom do I have the honor?
Pleased to meet you, sir. Oh, positively delighted.
Ah, you're French.
Monsieur Guérin is the unofficial representative of our little association. Mr. Heckenberg is German. I am Karl Hirschmann. I wrote to you several times from the Netherlands.
Are you paralyzed, man? For pity's sake, kick the ball! Gentlemen, how do you propose to score if you never shoot?
Allow me to introduce Lord Kinnaird, president of our venerable Football Association.
What are you afraid of? It's not a bomb!
He is a lord.
Gentlemen, I've told you 1,000 times to shoot first! Shoot! Football may be a gentleman's game, but it is a man's sport!
Gentlemen.
Mr. Wall, where are you going?
Mr. Wall, a moment.
Our boys are 2 goals down, gentlemen. There are things much more important than life and death. There's football, and at half-time, things are deadly serious.
We will try to be brief. What did you think of our proposition?
Proposition?
Yes.
Well, perhaps...
Listen, our group of European nations will set up this federation. You may have invented the game, defined the rules which govern it.
That's very kind of you, sir, to recognize our small part. So what is it exactly that you want?
Either you join our federation, and of course, Lord Kinnaird becomes our president, or we'll exclude you from all the international matches we'll organize.
Robert, please.
That's all right, my good man. I'm curious to know what international matches, as you say, England might be excluded from. Cups, tournaments, championships, friendly games?
We don't know yet.
What rules do you intend to add to the 13 which already exist? And where, pray tell, will these international matches be played? On the sugar beet fields on the other side of the channel. Our association has just celebrated its 40th anniversary. Your so-called federation doesn't even exist yet. So, why not come back in 40 years' time when you've got things up and running, and we'll discuss it then? Monsieur?
Gentlemen, you must gain possession of that ball. Retain possession of that ball, and then shoot! What did those blasted frogs want?
Oh, nothing important, sir.
Indulge my curiosity, Wall.
Well, they want to run the world of football, sir, in place of us.
How ridiculous. What do foreigners understand of our beautiful game?
And consequently, our association is unable to acknowledge your so-called federation. Jackass!
Yeah.
Gentlemen, are we going to let this blasted lord dictate his law?
No.
Definitely not. Schneider, what do you think?
Switzerland won't stand for it.
Malingos, Kahn,
Belgium refuses.
Silo.
In the name of the Danish people, 1,000 times no.
What does Madrid say, my dear André?
That their damned island can sink into oblivion. Spain will never capitulate.
Curse the Englishman!
Long live Europe!
Damn Admiral Nelson!
Gentlemen, some decorum, please. May I remind you that this is an official meeting.
My friend, Hirschman is right, as usual. Just write that. On this day, May 21st, 1904, at number 229 Rue Saint-Honoré, à Paris, our federation unanimously decided that will decide all the rules of football everywhere, that will organize all the matches of football everywhere, that will do
All right,
everything.
Robert, I'm not going to write that.
Why not?
For the first article, we should write that our federations recognize each other as the only ones authorized to govern the sport of football in their respective countries. And we're the only ones qualified to oversee any international relations in regards to football.
Well said, my friend. That's our first article. That will knock those Brits on their English asses.
Robert, please.
Sorry, Carl.
And who will be the president? I mean, we need a president.
Oh,
President!
thank you, my friend.
And we need a Secretary General, too.
Since you were the first to ask, you'll be the first, sir.
Bravo.
But above all,
What will we call our federation?
I know. The English have their football association. Will be the Fédération Internationale de Football Association.
FIFA.
My friends, we are FIFA.
You're the president now.
Yes, but only because I was the least drunk. Being FIFA's president means nothing. Nothing good will come. No glory, no money.
That is not true, Robert, and you know this. You're going to have to start taking your job seriously.
Shall I ask you to join us?
Are you crazy?
I think I'll do it.
No, Robert.
I do it
No,
now.
sit down now.
Follow me.
Robert, do not.
All right, all right. Give us 2 glasses of quinquina, please.
Robert, I love football,
So do I.
and I believe in this. I believe that the whole world should play football by the same rules and regulations. Every nation.
Yes.
And I believe that our federation is the only one who can get this done.
I swear that if we all set our minds to it, we'll achieve something. And even the English will end up joining us.
International football.
Yes. With whoever wants to play. Whoever, Carl. That's my dream.
That is our dream.
Not to offend our French counterparts, but just like Julius Caesar, our team came, saw, and conquered. In the final of the Paris Olympic Games, Uruguay beat Switzerland by 3-0, an overwhelming victory.
But England wasn't there.
Uruguay is now proud to be one of the best in world football, winning against Yugoslavia 7-0, against the United States of America 3-0.
But
And
Argentina wasn't there. Argentina wasn't there.
this Olympic crown, our glorious team, La Celeste, does not play ball. It toys with it.
It played without the rest of the world.
Sir, your disrespect for Uruguay is an outrage. Leave this conference at
Sir,
once.
my esteem for the Celeste is equal to my contempt for its victory.
How dare you? I forbid
And I
you.
forbid you from forbidding me anything. Please, let me speak. What does an international tournament mean without the presence of all nations? Nothing. It means nothing at all.
Thank you, sir. Now
I'm
you
not
time.
finished. Olympic football is, to the best of my knowledge, not upheld to
Who is
profession.
in charge here? Please remove the.
Your best players are not even Uruguayan by blood. They are Bolivian, Colombian, and maybe even Mexican, but they are not Uruguayan.
You have gone way too far, sir. You will have to face the consequences.
You will have to face yourself. Your Olympic crown dishonors the spirit of football. No, I have finished.
No puede ser, no puede ser. Eso es increíble. Pero ¿cómo se atreve?
Who the hell is that?
Jules Rimet. He's the president of some federation that nobody even knows.
What got into you, my friend? I have never seen you in such a state. Have you lost your mind?
He was perfect. Tomorrow all the press will be talking about FIFA.
I hope so, my dear Delone.
Yeah, because no one knows us now, that's for sure.
We've been around for 20 years, but the world of football is still at war.
How can yesterday's enemies play football on the same fields that they were fighting over not so long ago?
Football is on the road to ruin.
If Latin America continues like that, yes, sure.
They are way ahead of us. Their teams are organized by real national federations. They have the best trainers, first-rate facilities.
South American football will be soon entirely professional.
For better or for worse?
Amateur football, ancient history.
The time is now, my friends, to seize the moment and create something.
But what? You said yourself, it's as if we don't exist.
A world championship.
A world.
All is yet to be invented, gentlemen.
He's mad.
No.
He's a visionary. We will never be taken seriously unless we organize a competition like that.
Exactly.
Mr. Rimet! A gentleman in there told me to give you this.
Thank you. Uruguay triumphs at the Paris Olympics. My dear Dreyers, I thought that after yesterday, the press would have written something. Thank you, darling.
But there is nothing. There's not one word.
So you're giving up?
We don't exist, my friends.
Oh. Don't you have any guts, man?
My guts are with my compatriots in the trenches of the Great War.
So react, goddammit. Less than a week ago, you were raising mountains. Set off on a mission around Europe. Rally the other nations. Important ones at that, who can't wait to replace those English bastards. We will make this happen. If you don't do it for the World Championship, for football, for the French team, or for yourself, at least do it for Carl. And for them.
Hello. Divine, huh?
Oh, excuse me, dear.
Hello, Annette.
Carl? The postman delivered this. And the sender's name, it's Bueno or
Is that
Buono.
from Buero?
Enrique Buero,
Thank you.
ambassador of Uruguay, posted to Brussels.
Where did you come across him, Jules? This man has a lot of money.
He handles colossal funds for Latin American tycoons.
I know you don't approve the way we function, but you spoke your mind, and I like that.
Really, Mr. Buono?
We have considerable financial resources in Uruguay. We have our Olympic title, but it's just the beginning.
An appetizer.
Exactly. Well chosen, but not enough to whet one's appetite.
And?
In 5 years' time, Uruguay will celebrate its 100th anniversary. And we would like to mark the occasion by organizing the first World Football Championship.
Tempting. But an event like that costs a fortune.
Yes, but we are prepared to pay.
FIFA is poor. But that doesn't mean we will sell the one treasure we possess, honor.
Please, don't misunderstand me. We don't want to buy anything. Let's just say we would be especially honored to host this competition. We have unlimited funds, Mr. Rimet. Unlimited. You need the money. We need the World Championship. Let's do business.
Will you finance the travel costs of other teams? And the referees?
Absolutely.
Do you give me your word that you won't try to cheat or influence referees' decisions?
I do.
And will you pay our federation a percentage on each ticket sold?
One thing at a time, Mr. Rimet. One thing at a time. But I promise you, on my honor, that in 5 years' time, the first World Championship will be played in Montevideo, in a brand new stadium.
A stadium? With how many seats?
100,000, my friend. 100,000!
Gentlemen, the first World Championship will take place in 1930, in a country yet to be determined. Each future championship will be held in a different country every 4 years. All the members of our federation and all sportsmen, both amateur and professional, may compete in this tournament without distinction of color or class. Gentlemen, our 23 members have voted. The first World Cup will be held in Uruguay.
Let's ask you, don't you think this new ball that is smaller will speed?
May I say, young lady, that all this makes absolutely no moral sense. What's the use in organizing the World Cup in the Americas, in a country no one's heard of, which is a stranger to modernity? And why not at the tip of Africa with the Zulus while we're at it?
Why not? Indeed. Who knows? The Zulus may be excellent football players. Maybe they just don't know it yet.
But, young lady, the natives of Africa are stupid and undisciplined. It's just their nature. How could they possibly be expected to appreciate the subtleties of a game invented by the whites?
Quite good. Are you having a pleasant evening?
Ah, Monsieur Rimet, this young person is your daughter.
Indeed she is.
Oh, I'm sorry to say she understands nothing about the game of football. She's under the impression that Negroes could compete with whites at the sport.
Oh, really?
Yes, you should send her back to her sewing and the art of good housekeeping. Her pretty little head would be filled with less nonsense.
I beg your pardon.
Negroes playing football. Why not women while we're at it? Oh, that would be quite amusing, huh? Quite amusing.
Annette, you silly girl. Some people, they look nice in a way. They can sound pleasing to the ear, but on the inside, they're, how do we say, my dear?
Rotten. To the core.
Yeah. Come on, darling.
No se demoren más. Che, poné más gente acá. Tenés que acabar la estructura primero, ¿entendiste?
Claro, claro.
You're an artist, and I'm sure you can understand.
An artist must eat too, and not once a day, but thrice to suffice. Oh my God, I've rhymed.
Painter, sculptor, and poet. Listen, it's a
noble cause.
Noble cause.
Noble
yes.
schnoble, it is work. It is canvas, charcoal, imagination, and inspiration. Working for glory may warm the cockles of my heart, but it will not fill my belly.
I'm begging you. With that, your belly will be well served.
Well, if you could manage just a tad more, I could even add a bit of gristle. Oh, thank you.
You won't get a penny more. Bon appétit, Fleur.
Merci.
Thank you. For Montevideo, please.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Is the Centenario Stadium ready? Yes, of course.
What question is that?
Oh, muchas gracias, Buero.
All that missing are the players.
We are back the Romanians.
Yes.
The Belgium.
Yes.
And we'll pick up the Brazilian when we stop in Rio.
Yes.
And what about the playing field?
The grass?
The grass.
You are kidding, Jules.
We are growing it. A real English lawn, I assure you.
Splendid. And accommodations.
The hotel for the delegation are ready. Everything is fixed.
Listen to me, Jules, and I give you my word. If the World Cup were played tomorrow, the only thing that you could be missing is the ball.
Oh, muchas gracias, Enrique. See you in 2 weeks.
We have done it.
2 weeks.
Perfect.
Gracias, gracias, Enrique.
Buen viaje.
Get into position. Oh, sir.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Have a seat.
Annette. Hello.
Please, just a little bit closer.
Seasick?
No.
Please, smile. All right. And remember, you're making history.
You are not going to dance?
For the past 2 days, you've hardly spoken. Cooped up in your cabin like a bear with a sore head. What's wrong?
I had a wire from France. The press don't give us much a chance. For once, they may be right.
Come on, that's not it. Tell me.
The crisis in America will hit Europe. It does not seem appropriate spending money to play football on the other side of the world.
When have dreams ever been appropriate? You're not stealing anything from anyone, and it's not by worrying yourself sick that you'll change anything. You have the right to make your dream come true, and that's an order, monsieur.
How did you get so smart?
I don't know. I suppose my mother had excellent genes. Tomorrow's another day, Papa. Tomorrow's another day.
We've lost everything.
Will this misery never end? The depression is devastating. And somebody will be made to take the blame. Either the Jews or the communists. Or maybe the gypsies.
Jules, I should have warned you about the stock market investments. I couldn't.
Carl.
I thought I was doing the right thing, but I wasn't.
Mussolini! Italy's a force to be reckoned with!
It was an honest mistake. No one blames you.
Jules, everything is here. All the bank statements, the accounts, nothing is missing. You can check if you like.
You're not quitting. You can't. The Federation needs you. I need you. Carl, we made a good team.
Yeah, and I thank you for that. And I thank you for everything that you've done. For the Federation, and for me. And kiss Annette goodbye, please. Mon ami.
As for me, dear colleagues, I can assure you that Germany is opposed to any idea of war.
Well, can you be so sure, Mr. Stricker? I mean, has the Chancellor confided in you?
I have not been so privileged.
Whoever fought a war with ideas, but with guns, artillery.
Jules, please. Germany has never fared better. The Olympic Games is a huge success. Unemployment has all but disappeared because everyone is working.
In factory to rearm Germany, my dear Secretary General. So, that one day, boom!
Well, at least we should have nothing to fear. Now our headquarters are in Zurich.
Thank God Switzerland is neutral.
Yes. Stuck between Hitler and Mussolini, who are as thick as thieves. Right, Barassi?
Attenzione a quello che sta dicendo. Careful.
I'm sure our president is joking, huh?
Why? The fascist doctrines are the complete opposite of our federations.
Gentlemen, please.
Are they not, Mr. Seal Dryers?
Last week, when Hitler refused to shake Jesse Owens' hand, it was as if he were publicly declaring to the whole world...
A handshake. A mere error of protocol.
Gentlemen, shall we get back to business?
Qui siete tutti matti.
Mussolini staged the last World Cup, but it was not for football. It was a weapon of mass propaganda.
You can say what you like, but Italy won the World Cup.
No, sir. Italy did not win the World Cup. You appropriate.
This is absolutely disgraceful.
Be quiet! Both of you. Are you mad? War hasn't even been declared and you're already at each other's throats. Look at you. Oh, your federation's a fine thing. But what about your ideals? Brotherhood amongst peoples. The spirit of the sport. Has all that been forgotten?
Annette. Annette, wait. Annette, please. I went too far. I can't keep up.
Of course you can.
I'm thinking about resigning as president.
You'll never do that.
How do you know?
Because I have never, ever seen you give up. Not on anything. Nor on anyone.
We will see about that. Maybe this damn war will never even start.
What's more, in 2 years' time, the World Cup will be held in France.
That's all? Nothing about the game?
Of course, the papers aren't talking about it. The last thing the Nazis need is anything that mars their propaganda.
And they still played?
Oh, they played. They could barely stand, but they played. They played to honor the colors of FC Stade.
My Red Stars played them in a friendly game before the war.
There was nothing friendly about this game. They say it was like some mythical match. As if God himself had laced up his boots.
Did they win?
The Reich's honor was at stake. The Ukrainians had to lose. Otherwise, there would be more deportations, then torture, and then a bullet in the back of the head for each member of the team.
The death match.
On one side, highly trained German officers. On the other, these poor, starving Ukrainian prisoners they'd taken out of a factory. And in the middle, a corrupt referee following the Germans' orders.
They played fake passes, left and right. The Germans were out of their league, completely surpassed by the Ukrainians. With every ball played, the Germans bit the dust.
They could have stayed alive. Just before the end of the match, they were leading 5-3. A Ukrainian defender picked up the ball and took out 3 Germans.
Then he got rid of the goalie and stood in front of the open goal. He could have scored a 6th for the Ukraine, right? Instead, he stopped.
He looked the goalkeeper in the eye, then kicked the ball back to his own side.
And the Ukrainians? They laughed like children.
That's much. But we weren't there. We weren't there.
Très bien, messieurs, resserrez-vous. Faites de la place à monsieur Rimet. Vous êtes prêts? Un petit sourire.
Well, my dear Barrosi, have you finally given back that World Cup? Thank you.
Ma non l'ho mica rubata io, oh. I did not steal it. This is the jewelry makeup.
Let's just say you borrowed it, huh?
Exactly. It was not safe in Italy during the war, so I placed it in a shoebox and I put it under my bed and I slept with it for 10 years.
Oh, la, la, you rascal, you.
Mr. Rimet? Mr. Jules Rimet.
And Dr. Barassi at your service.
Dottore, I'm Mr. Brown, and this is Mr. Pickle here, Mr. Jackson. We represent His Majesty's Football Association.
Oh, we're delighted to have you.
Yes, indeed.
What can I do for you?
Actually, we just want to pay our respects.
And ask if you do us the honor of attending our match against Spain tomorrow.
We'll be there, gentlemen, of course.
I hope that for your first World Cup you play better than yesterday.
Yes, yes. The US team, how do the Americans say? Creamed.
Creamed, yes. Creamed.
If the Yanks hadn't played with British subjects, we would have won that match hands down.
Oh, of course.
We'll make short work of the Spanish, don't you worry.
And the honor of England is at stake.
Yeah, after all, you invented football. Well, let's see you tomorrow then, gentlemen.
And thank you very much for your participation in our little competition.
Thank you. Come on, Mr. Barretti, Doctor.
Caros amigos, o dia da vitória chegou. Dentro de alguns instantes, o jogo triunfal vai ter início. Eurico Gaspar Dutra, o nosso presidente, já está instalado na tribuna de honra, ao lado do Dr. Jules Rimet, o presidente da FIFA, que entregará ao time vencedor desta final o troféu que leva o seu nome.
Well, my girl, what do you think of that? Maracana. 200,000 spectators.
English all the time speak about Wembley.
No, not anymore, my friend, not anymore.
Today is Brazil Day.
Careful, Mr. Barassi. One never knows.
Bigode, Friaça, Zizinho, Jair. Tantas estrelas no azul do nosso céu. Todos que têm a sorte de assistir a esta final histórica hoje, aqui no estádio do Maracanã, poderão bater no peito e dizer com orgulho: eu estava lá. Basta um simples empate com o Uruguai para que os jogadores da camisa branca de nossa seleção alcancem o panteão dos deuses do futebol. Nos próximos 90 minutos, o nosso amado e idolatrado Brasil será coroado o campeão do mundo.
Remind me, who's that man in the brown suit?
João Havelange. He used to be on the Brazilian swimming team. Now he's a lawyer or a company director or something of the sort.
E agora vamos ouvir o hino nacional brasileiro. O árbitro inglês, Mr. Reader, sopra o apito inicial e começa a final da Copa do Mundo. E o Brasil domina imediatamente o jogo com Danilo, que toca a bola para Chico. Chico cruza para Andrade, que passa para Friaça. Friaça toca a bola para Ademir. Ademir controla o jogo, passa pelo back uruguaio, vai chegando e chuta forte pro gol. Na trave! O chute de Ademir bate na trave! E o jogo continua empatado, 0-0. Aqui no estádio, a atmosfera é literalmente asfixiante. Mas eis que Friaça recupera a bola, mira o goleiro, prepara o chute, a bola parte, um petardo rumo à meta do Uruguai e é gol! espetacular! Brasil! Seremos campeões! Já estamos quase no final do jogo e a alegria da vitória do Brasil está no rosto de todos aqui no Maracanã. Mas o Brasil tem que ter muito cuidado com os contra-ataques perigosos da equipe uruguaia. E lá vem Gija. Mais uma vez, cara a cara com o Bigode. Gija consegue se livrar do zagueiro. Gija cruza para Schiaffino. Gol! Gol do Uruguai. Jogo empatado, mas nada é perdido, caros ouvintes. Brasil 1, Uruguai 1. A partida está bastante acirrada aos 13 minutos do fim do jogo. O placar continua sendo de 1-1. E se assim prosseguir até o final, o Brasil será o campeão. Neste exato momento, o presidente Jules Rimet está deixando a tribuna de honra para entregar pessoalmente no campo o troféu da Copa ao capitão do time vencedor, que será, sem sombra de dúvidas, o nosso grande Augusto. Meus amigos, doravante, nada mais será como antes no Brasil. Não há mais nem mesmo a pureza no branco da camisa de nossa seleção. Não perdemos apenas um jogo. Hoje, perdemos o nosso sonho. Ouso dizer que perdemos a nossa honra.
Until the end of his presidency 2 years ago, I accompanied my father on all his journeys. I saw him invent the World Cup. I saw him transform football. And it was this passion that carried him along an exceptional destiny for over 33 years. His sole regret, and I can share this with you now, is to have never been a great footballer himself. And yet he was the only man who made the World Cup a reality. 5 times in a row. Rest in peace, Papa. I love you.
Welcome aboard, Mr. Haviland. satisfy my curiosity. I've heard tell that you're considering joining us at FIFA. Not happy at IOC? Well, if I were you, old boy, I'd wait another few years before leaving the Olympic Committee.
Why? You don't think a Brazilian could do the job?
Possibly not. You see, our world just isn't ready for those who were born less fortunate.
So, Rouse, may I remind you
that... Stanley, actually.
May I remind you, we have just won the World Cup for the second time.
Of course. But with a genius like Pele, it's only natural. In 2 years' time, the next cup will be held in England. And we, the inventors of this sport, will at last win the trophy.
I'm sure you will, Mr. President.
Bienvenido a México.
Gentlemen. Mr. Sugo, I hope everything is satisfactory. The hotel?
Delightful. You're spoiling us.
No, it's nothing. And why not?
Could be an historic day for you.
If Brazil wins today for the third time, the Jules Rimet Trophy will be ours forever. Miss, please, enjoy the match.
Camera 2, pan to your right. Got it.
Great game. Victory belongs to those who know how to seize it. You know, Mr. Sugo, this year, the only African country to be in the finals was Morocco. This could all change. It must change. I have great ambitions for Africa. Trust me.
Mr. Rouse, 1 vote. Mr. Rouse, 1 vote. Mr. Rouse, 1 vote.
Mr. Avalanche, 1 vote. Mr. Avalanche, 1 vote. Mr. Rouse, 1 vote. Mr. Avalanche, 1 vote. Mr. Avalanche, 1 vote. Mr. Avalanche, 1 vote. With 68 votes to 42, Mr. Avalanche is elected FIFA president.
President, my congratulations.
You're pleased, Mr. Sugo.
I'm always pleased with democracy.
And I will not forget.
Of that, I am certain, Mr. President.
Well, I accept my defeat.
My sympathies. But it must be some comfort, at least, to know that you would be honorary president for life.
Possibly. Pity it wasn't a fair fight.
No, listen. I took the rest of the world seriously. I traveled to over 100 countries. I know some of these nations, they show their gratitude.
The Africans.
Amongst others.
Those people will never understand the subtleties of football. My only consolation is knowing that your African friends will betray you in the end. Just as they betrayed me. By granting them power, Avalanche, you've opened Pandora's box.
Rouse. The future of our sport lies in Africa and in Asia and America. And if you cannot see that, I cannot help you.
Parabéns.
Thank you, Dazzler.
I've been offered a job in Zurich. Football. Can you believe it? I'm taking up football. No more watches.
Does he pay well?
Depends on my results.
Can't be any harder than the watches, now could it? You'll be all right.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Yes, this is the FIFA headquarters.
The executive committee did not elect me to promote stagnation. Our accounts are disastrous. We need funds, gentlemen. So find them. We need ideas, so be creative. The world is expanding, the power is shifting, so this is our chance, seize it. So I don't care if you call on Brezhnev or Castro or Mao, I don't care. But I will have results. And I want them fast. That is all. Oh, I almost forgot. A certain Bladder joining us. Where are you, Bladder? There's Bladder. Bladder will be number 12 in our little group. He's apparently good at finding money. Let us hope so.
We're pathetic. President asked us to find sponsors. Nothing.
What about the English Brewers?
Not interested. No partnerships. People do love football, don't they?
The hooligans aren't doing much for our image. Advertisers are wary.
The hooligans are consumers, the same as everyone else. The Brewers don't give a damn.
Hey, I didn't think Jocelyn would be here.
What's for Eagles?
He's an executive at Coca-Cola. Met him at a conference a while back.
I think he might be interested.
Nah, they're not football fans. Big at the Olympics, though. Where you going?
Can't hurt to try.
So what about this match?
Yeah, I need some protection.
Germans are really good. Yeah, Germans are good. Yeah. I heard it.
It's Mr. Blatter. Mr. Avalanche?
5 minutes.
He'll call you back in 5 minutes.
And he said yes, just like that.
Absolutely, sir. He wants an exclusive partnership with FIFA. I'm meeting his staff next week.
So he knew about football?
Not really. He saw the match, but didn't understand the offside rule.
But he's interested nonetheless.
Well, if we can increase his sales. I gave him a figure.
Want me commit?
I hope so, sir.
May God hear you, Blatter.
How long have you known President Avalanche?
I met him at the FIFA elections last year. He thinks we should work together.
He's a wise man, but I'm afraid these may not be the best of times.
How's that?
Well, there's tremendous tension between Moscow and Washington. The African nations may boycott Montreal Games.
And?
It could cause the Americans and their allies to pull out of Moscow.
What's that got to do with FIFA?
Well, it's a domino effect. Carries over to football, Argentina will be a fiasco, we'll be out of business.
I don't believe that.
Why not?
The Olympics are political. The World Cup is people. If a president prevents his team from participating in the World Cup, he'll be out of business.
Other than the official ball, what does Adidas have to offer?
The truth is, our company has virtually no liquid assets left. But we do have something invaluable. The public loves us. We have balls, jerseys, tracksuits, socks, shoes.
How much would we need, for Argentina to equip the players, referees, trainers, staff?
10,000 articles, at least. But this is only the start. We have big plans with FIFA. If you'd care to step into my office.
Why do you want to do business with us?
I believe in your federation, and I know you'll return the favor one day. All I want is one thing in return. I want you to make our ball the star of the next World Cup. My dear Zepp, let me introduce you to Tango. If that ball becomes a star, FIFA and Adidas will sign the biggest deal the world's ever seen.
I hope the president likes it.
He'll like it.
How are things going with Coca-Cola?
Well,
I need this contract. Under any condition. Is that clear?
It is, Mr. President. The Africans are waiting for us to take a stand on apartheid.
We already took a stand 12 years ago when we suspended South Africa. What more do they want? The South Africans that tell me, keep politics out of sport. It's impossible. Politics and sport are inseparable.
Thank you. Let's take a short break and then welcome Mr. Joseph Blatter, FIFA Director of Technical Development Programs. Excuse me, I thought President Avalanche was coming.
No, he had to leave this morning.
It's a shame that the president couldn't make it.
His schedule was already backlogged.
I have faith in our president. But so far, it's just words. Words. Yet to see anything more concrete.
Mr. Blatter.
I like you. Truly. But you should understand that Africa has changed. We expect more. Much more now. If you want our loyalty, you're going to have to earn it.
We want to work with you. Set up development programs. Do more than simply supply sports equipment. We will honor our promises to you. Gentlemen. In the name of FIFA, I'd like to thank you for your kind invitation.
No, my dear friend. UN resolution changes nothing. We will not go back on our decision. South Africa will not be welcomed back into FIFA until it is settled the issue of apartheid. Exactly. My respects. These people, as if the world were all black and white.
About Argentina, sir.
The Argentine Mundial will be a great opportunity for all of Latin America. Now, the press go on and on about dictatorships and political prisoners and so on. But as soon as the game kicks off, things change.
Sponsors are nervous.
They'll be fine.
There are human rights violations involved. They feel exposed.
These events, they take place so far from Europe. Now, the intellectuals can protest as much as they like with their banners and their tracts and speeches, but then what? Nothing is forgotten. Those are the people, those. And amongst them, who knows? Communists, fascists, who cares? But during the World Cup, they only dream of one thing, that ball, and only that ball. Because football brings consolation to all tragedies and sorrows. No, the people, they need hope. They need heroes to survive. Muhammad Ali, Jesse Owens, not to mention Pelé, these people have done more for the black cause than any politician. And the World Cups that we organize do more for world peace than any UN resolution.
So close.
Trust me.
Hey! Oh, Uncle, that's cheating.
Cheating? Oh, that's a big word. Listen, imagine there is a cloud here above your football field. And here is God. And God intervenes and puff, some gold. Is that cheating?
But you're not God.
You think so? Go on. Argentinian people right now, they need reasons to rejoice. They need reasons to hope. They need good news they can actually see. Argentinians need papelitos. We will cover them with papelitos.
You're never tired, do you?
We need European trainers to teach their key instructors, otherwise there's simply no point.
I'm exhausted. We just left Japan, for Christ's sake. We organized the World Cup for juniors. We found this new god to worship. That's amazing little Maradona. Now we are back in Africa.
We should be concentrating on the women's teams.
How about taking a break? You're burning yourself out.
When the World Cup is held here, in the USA, in Asia, whoa, then I'll take a break.
They are going to name you Secretary General of FIFA.
Who told you that?
The president. You're going to be number 2 in the biggest football organization in the world.
Good morning, Mr. Blatter.
Good morning.
So this is it? I think you deserve it, sir.
Thank you, Vittorio. Come in.
Oh, Blatter. I'm waiting for you.
I'll be with you in a moment.
So, what's happening with the development programs for Africa?
With snowed under. Africa knows precisely what it stands to gain, and there are more applications coming in from Asia.
Well, all this costs us a great deal of money. Not that you'd know that from the press.
They're not so fond of us, sir.
An institution like ours cannot run on good intentions alone. We need money. We need a great deal of money. Come closer. You know, Blatter, today I am making you second in command at FIFA.
It's an honor, sir.
Yes, it is. It is a great honor, Blatter. And a great honor comes with great responsibilities. Congratulations, Mr. Secretary General. But you know, the slightest error on your part, and you're out.
Well, at least things are clear.
No. You've risen very, very fast, thanks to me. But if you disappoint me, you can fall just as fast. So that's all.
What's wrong?
I'm not sure.
Talk to me, Zeb.
A while ago, when it was time to pay our personnel, the accountant announced that there was nothing left in the coffers. Avalanche wouldn't take my call.
And?
And I signed a personal check for 200,000 Swiss francs.
My God.
But it was that, or they weren't getting paid. I mean, can you imagine what the press would have done with a story like that? Worst of it is, I don't know where the money's gone. I mean, I have my suspicions, but I can't be certain.
Ask the accountant.
We're in the red, Horst. We're up to our necks. If we can't get things back on track, the whole machine's going to blow up, and me with it.
You worry too much.
Señoras, señores, mañana en el Estadio Santiago Bernabéu, Su Majestad el Rey Juan Carlos asistirá a la final de este Mundial de récords extraordinarios. Por primera vez en la historia, 24 equipos han disputado 52 partidos en 16 ciudades. El partido de la vergüenza en Gijón, cuando Austria y la República Federal de Alemania se pusieron de acuerdo para eliminar a Argelia, y sobre todo, la agresión impune de Schumacher en las semifinales, dos acontecimientos que permanecen en nuestras mentes. En las próximas horas se espera un comunicado de la FIFA.
Everything will be fine, Corinne. Journalists always fan a spark into a blaze. They're notorious for it.
When there's smoke.
I've worked with your father long enough to get to know him. He's a good man. He'll win them over. He always does. It's time.
Three minutes. Excellent. Excellent.
What do you think?
It will be difficult, but it's manageable.
Mr. President?
My dear Blatter, this is your job.
Gentlemen, silence, please. The Secretary General will answer your questions.
Mr. Blatter, are you planning on sanctioning West Germany because of the match fixing with Austria?
What do you think about the Algerians being eliminated?
We are working on a proposal. In future, all first-round final matches will be played simultaneously.
President Haviland, why the foul on Battiston was not penalized?
Nothing, Mr. Blatter. No red card.
This was unfortunate.
This is a disgrace. Everybody's seen the instant replay.
Why does FIFA still refuse to authorize the use of video?
We are making changes.
What changes?
Yes, ask your question, please.
What measures will FIFA take to ensure the safety of these players?
It's not for me to decide alone.
Gentlemen, please. Quiet, please.
Do you believe, Mr. Blatter, that the FIFA should be held accountable for what they're promoting on the field?
Gentlemen, this is a press conference, not a trial.
House of Parliament. Please hurry.
Wilcox, I didn't see you in the crowd.
Don't like kicking him out when he's down, sir, but there are a few questions I'd like to ask you.
Then make an appointment with Werner.
You've signed contracts with some of the biggest distributors in the world. How can you explain FIFA's deficit? Do you know where all the money's gone?
Are you accusing me of something in particular?
I have accounting records. Not all your friends are as discreet as you. Who are you protecting?
Sepp, I want to tell you something. Look at you. You start at the bottom, you work hard, and now you're at the very top.
Not quite.
Sepp, I want you to replace me when the time comes. You have everything you need to run our family. Plus the quality I really cherish.
Which is?
Listen to me very carefully. When I leave the ship, I don't want any waves. I want to live peacefully and with honors. Do you understand me?
I think so.
You may not thank me for this. It's a big, powerful beast that can swallow you whole.
Oh, as heir, I can choose to accept or refuse.
Of course.
Mr. President. Gentlemen, France '98 was a huge success, but look at these images. Commit them to memory. The incidents that happened off the field must never happen again. No football match is worth a man's
Kein
life.
Spiel ist ein einziges Menschenleben wert.
Now, the next tournament will take place in both South Korea and in Japan, far from Europe. Some of you may feel that this is a good opportunity to close lucrative deals with certain lobbies. Think again. No sport is spotless. There is simply a lot more money involved in ours, which is why from now on we will be exemplary in all respects. The slightest breach of ethics will be severely punished.
Is that a threat, Mr. President?
I'm not accusing anyone.
Veiled accusations.
A new protocol. Our federation has almost 200 members. So is there anyone in this room naive enough to believe that all 200 are honest?
I believe we are 200 gentlemen and to be treated as such.
Well, then conduct yourself as an honest gentleman, and you will be. There are always a few rotten apples.
I object, Mr. President.
Noted, sir.
President Havelange would have never dared to treat us with such utter contempt.
Well, maybe he should have.
President Havelange
is no longer president. I am. Jean Havelange presided over our family for 24 years. Did he make mistakes? Perhaps not for me to judge. But I am warning you, all of you. We will play by my rules now. Gentlemen.
I just need you to sign the letter of president, the authorizations for the goal program, and the minutes of the referees committee's last meeting. That journalist, Edgar Wilcox, is waiting for you in the lobby.
On the terrace.
I'll be fine. Thank you. I'm not responsible for what might have happened prior to my presidency, which you choose to call embezzlement.
You're the Secretary General, for God's sakes. So either you knew, which makes you just as guilty, or you didn't, which makes you a bloody fool. All right, all right.
In every association, there are honest people and there are traitors, and there are those who could go either way. Everything I've done up until this point has been for the good of football, for the good of the family, a family which I'll protect at all costs.
Even those members are purported liars, thieves.
Purported.
You'll find out soon enough.
You said this was to be a friendly meeting, off the record.
It is.
FIFA is a sensitive subject, Mr. Wilcox. Your role is to question it, mine is to protect it. You're the journalist, I'm the president.
You've got to ask yourself one thing. Are the people I'm protecting worthy?
My office just received word from the insurance company. They refused to insure the 2002 World Cup in Japan and Korea. Shall we take a break?
No. Carry on.
Considering the state of FIFA's finances, Mr. President, the wages of your 200 collaborators cannot be paid this month. Some sponsors are threatening to pull out. Other long-standing partners are demanding the immediate removal of their logos from all PR media. Is that or they want a substantial goodwill gesture?
Is that all?
You mean, can it get any worse? Let's see. We are on the verge of a diplomatic incident between Japan and South Korea. Emperor Akihito refuses to go to Seoul for the opening ceremony. Diplomats from both countries are arguing over protocol. Even the mascots are in the middle of a full-scale media war. So yes, I'd say it's about as bad as it can get.
Werner, something cheerful to add?
Just this?
May I ask you one more question?
Be my guest.
When are you going to do something to defend yourself?
I've done nothing that merits defense.
The Federation is dragging you through the mud,
I grew up on a farm. I have no fear of mud.
accusing you by name. False accusations, and you know it.
She's right. Unless you defend yourself, you'll never be re-elected in Seoul.
You could go to prison. And I'm not a criminal lawyer, so I couldn't even defend you.
I fought hard to get where I am today.
And fight to stay there. You've been betrayed.
Yes. By the same people you've put in power.
It's ironic. There are 24 members. Who's the traitor? Is it him? Or him, or him, or him? Maybe him. Who knows?
Someone does.
One day I will be exonerated, this I know. After all I've done for football, for the world, this is an injustice. But Sepp, my friend, I'm afraid that we have disappointed you. Yes, we have.
I knew I wasn't joining the chess club.
No. No. Anyway, how many votes are you sure of for your re-election?
8 I can count on.
Okay. So you need 13 to win, which means you're 5 short. This is not impossible. What you need is 5 indecisive members, and you make them yours.
Well, how can I possibly know who they are?
I will tell you who they are. You know, Sepp, indecisive people are easily managed. Make them fear you. Make them believe you know everything about them. Compromising things. They may not like you, they may hate you, but who cares? They will do what you want.
Hello, Sophie.
Morning, Mr. Blatter.
Gentlemen, a number of you have decided to offer up my head in place of your own.
Mr. Blatter, spare us your speech and let us face
I haven't
facts.
finished.
A transfer of power has become inevitable.
Nothing is inevitable until the vote is cast.
We are asking you one last time to resign.
I refuse. You say you have evidence against me. Evidence of what?
Enough evidence to force you to resign. And that way you avoid prison.
Well, even if that were true, mine would not be the only head to roll.
Oh, come on. We have all the majority we need to force you to step down.
You have nothing at all. In a few days, the conference will vote to determine whether or not I'll continue as president. They will vote. See you in Seoul, gentlemen.
It feels like we're at war.
Well, I can't give up now.
What will you do if you're elected? I mean, with those who wanted to run you out.
We'll keep them close at hand.
So you'll forgive them?
Oh, one should always forgive. Just as one should never forget.
Elected by 139 votes, Joseph Sepp Blatter.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the name of FIFA, I thank you.
Hey guys,
Golden goal, okay? Okay! Let's go!
In over 100 years of existence, this federation, born of a dream, has survived 2 world wars, an unprecedented economic crisis, and made football the most played sport on our planet. If anyone had told us that one day FIFA would have over 200 member associations in its ranks, more than the UN, that people of all races and origins would play together, if we had known that women would fall in love with this game and end up filling entire stadiums, that football would be played in gymnasiums and schools, that people would listen to the sound of the ball, that this ball would bounce to every corner of the earth, and that it would leave its imprint on the history of mankind. Well, who would have believed this?
I'm discovering it with you. The 2010 FIFA World Cup will be held in South Africa.
Shine.